What is going on, guys? SkiveWalker here. Welcome on back to the channel. Welcome on back to the Empire. Today, we have more of a podcast episode. My boy Harley's been challenging me because all I do is beat him in this game, which is a joke because I haven't beat him one time. It hasn't even been close. So, what's going on, my guy?
Oh, what's going on?
Well, now that I made that, I'm probably going to lose by 50. Actually, funny story. I didn't know this until today. Apparently there was a Big Ten coaches thing, and Jim Harbaugh was trying to like rat out Ryan Day on some crap. So Ryan Day got all up in his face, and apparently when he got back to the Ohio State coaching staff, said the college football better implement a mercy rule, or we're gonna win by 100 this year. So I was like, oh.
Geez.
So Jim Harbaugh severely ticked off Ryan Day. Ryan Day's just going to run up the score against Michigan this year.
That's great.
That makes me happy. So I thought that was pretty fun. I had a good time with that. So anyways, how are you enjoying the baseball season so far?
I mean, Indians off to a slow start, but sparked a little bit yesterday. Hopefully we can keep it going, but other than that, everything else has been pretty good around the league. I'm just glad to have baseball.
Dude, facts. We were
Besides
going crazy.
the Marlins and Cardinals trying to ruin everything.
Right, and then even then, I don't know if any of their players were actually sick. They were just testing positive and blowing positive. I don't think anybody was sick. I don't know if anybody was even asymptomatic. Like, there was so many false positive tests. So,
Oh, look
Glaber
at that
Day!
ball.
Glaber Day! Nope, it's gonna hit the scoreboard.
Oh, yeah.
Son of a gun!
Yeah, I knew it wasn't gone.
Oh, son of a gun! I hit it to the wrong spot of the field. Gosh dang it! I hit that
Couldn't
ball
have been
miles.
worse.
Right. Oh, and then I just wait till you watch that back and see my PCI go straight down. Oh god. So yeah, the Indians strike. So, what's the one thing that surprised you so much so far with this baseball season?
With what?
Your biggest surprise so far from the baseball season?
Probably, like, all the studs around the league not doing well.
Okay.
Like, Bellinger sucks. Yelich sucks. Trout's doing alright. Frankie sucks.
Yeah,
Like,
it's definitely seeming like it's taking those guys a little bit longer to get going, which is weird. You think that they would have, stayed at least conditioned at home?
well, Yelich is hitting under 100.
Oh, that's like Gary Sanchez numbers, dude.
Well, probably not the strikeouts, but yeah.
Yeah, probably not. Gary Sanchez strikes out more than he makes contact with the ball. That's not one of my biggest surprises of the year. That was expected. Gary Sanchez to bat about 150 at most. Dude's a bum.
Yeah.
But I think my biggest surprise is the Baltimore Orioles in second place, in arguably one of the toughest divisions in the league. Like, it's not as tough this year because, of course, Boston's horrifyingly bad, and they're in a complete rebuild, which always makes me happy. But then the Rays are kind of underperforming. The Blue Jays are one of them up-and-coming teams, so I figured the Blue Jays would actually be one of those teams that would kind of break out off rip, and then be like one of those teams fighting for a spot, and then have high hopes next year to just be crushed.
Right.
Because it's really just that sprint, so teams are, I think it bodes well for teams that have nothing to lose, which is why I think the Orioles are doing so well.
It's weird to see them win.
It's very weird to see them win.
Wait,
just about every day I have to look. Yes. Because they don't really have anybody, like, good. They have, I'm trying to think of their left fielder's name. He's pretty solid. But that's really about it for them right now. At least as far as I know.
Say, as soon as they lost Mancini, it was like, oh, well, now you guys don't have much.
Right. And for the Yankees, I mean, I knew we were going to be good. We're kind of hit a rut because our starting pitching right now, other than Garrett Cole, has been horrifying. Luckily, I mean, thank God you hit the scoreboard too.
Did I?
Yes.
No.
Yes. So now I'm gonna. Oh, jeez, get the ball in.
Dude, he cracked that thing.
He smacked it. He smacked it.
That was perfect.
I am not throwing him a two-seamer ever again. Oh, good. I got you swinging that slider.
I mean, so with Bellinger, I actually bat like right under 400 online.
Oh, jeez, that's nasty.
Dude's so good.
Well, the people are going to be seeing my averages that are just horrifying because I can't hit in this game. The one thing I can do is pitch, but I can't hit. And apparently I'm starting to struggle pitching. So,
and that was another perfect right there.
Right at me that time. Gotta love MLB the show. If you actually hit the ball well, yeah, forget about it. You're probably out. Cattell
I
Marte,
don't
though.
hit many perfects. Oh, dude, I love Cattell.
I got him batting 571.
I was batting right around 380 with him.
Man, it's easy.
Solid center fielder. And it's nice with the switch hitter.
Yeah, I think I have him in left. Yeah, I got him in left. Because I saw Mickey Mantle in center because he's faster. So he can a little bit more ground. But if I didn't have Mantle, I'd have him in left because the dude's just nasty.
That's how it was with Honus Wagner that came out earlier this year. It was like his rookie card when he was like a strict center fielder.
Mm-hmm.
And he only had like bronze defense, but he had 90 speed, so it like made up for that.
Right, for sure. Actually, going back to the Tanaka's pitching a gem right now after getting beamed in the head by Giancarlo Stanton. I thought Tanaka might have been done for the year, and this dude came back and he pitched kind of in his first start, but he's throwing a gem against the Rays. Then again, I think the Rays haven't been doing diddly squat this year. He's about to.
Austin Meadows isn't even doing good.
No, I like me some Austin Meadows. I would love him on the Yankees.
I'm so shocked that the Pirates got rid of him.
I'm not. The Pirates get rid of everybody that's good. Wait till Josh Bell gets traded this year.
No, they still got Josh Bell.
And for now, I would bet he gets traded either this year or next year. But I'm going to say he gets traded this year because they are horrible this year, and there's going to be some desperate teams this year that just want to make it because there's 16 teams. And there's those fringe teams like the Indians who maybe in the 162 might not make it because the Twins have such a good offense and the Indians don't, but they have that pitching staff. So if they can just find their way in, they're a tough team to beat in the series because that starting pitching is so freaking good.
It's insane.
So
I didn't expect our starting pitching to be as good as it recently was, just because we got Aaron Savali, Zach Plesac, which are solid starters, but they only had like half a season under their belt last year.
Right, but if you have those guys,
really new.
They are, but as a 3 and 4 pitcher, it's hard to find any better.
They're the 4 and 5.
Oh, there's a 4. Yeah, the 4 and the 5. I forgot about Cookie. It's just nasty. How do you don't? There's not a better 4 and 5 starter in the league. I'm sorry, there's just not. That pitching staff is filth. So for a team like the Indians, who normally maybe this year would be sellers, depending on how the season went and injuries and stuff, of course, you can never predict how a season exactly goes.
Right.
But for this season, there's a very good chance the Indians make it. It's either like the 15, 14, 13, 12 team, whatever.
Right. I mean,
So
there's plenty of spots for him to make it in.
Right. Even if they finish second in the Central, I think they still get in. So you don't even have to win your division this year. So for a team like the Indians, and I don't think the Indians necessarily are going to be buyers, at least not to like a Josh Bell level, but there's going to be a team like that that's fringe, that's like right on the level to making that next step and make a big splash like that. So I think that's why Josh Bell goes.
Actually put Josh Bell for us anyway.
Oh, there's always a spot. At that point, you just put Carlos Santana and DH and call it a day. Then I don't know what you do with Franmil Reyes.
Exactly.
Either, but Josh Bell's better than Franmil. So
to an extent.
I think he's so much better. And that switch hitter. Oh, I would love Josh Bell in the Yankees.
We got that in Carlos.
True.
I mean, you guys would be smart to go after him for first base.
I
know you like Luke Voigt, but
I do like my boy Luke.
I think Josh Bell has a lot more potential.
Oh, and Josh Bell's nasty. Josh Bell is a superstar. I would take Josh Bell over Luke Voigt in a heartbeat if I could. But I know the Yankees won't make that trade.
Right.
I don't expect the Yankees to make a big trade for a minute. Mainly because they just inked Garrett Cole to that monster contract. Judge comes up here soon. Gleyber Torres comes up here soon. I don't think they're going to re-sign Gary Sanchez. I really don't. The way that he's been producing lately, I don't think they're going to re-sign.
And if they do, it would have to be for a good price.
Oh, it's going to be cheap, yeah. Yeah, he's not getting stupid money. So you got Gio Urshela's going to need paid here shortly. DJ LeMahieu's a free agent this year, so you got to re-sign LeMahieu again.
If the Yankees are smart, they would go get Contreras from the Cubs, because the Cubs are trying to ship him off this year if they end up starting to like go under.
I saw that, but they're in first place. Can't freaking believe it. They can't lose right now.
I don't know how their pitching's done. I mean, I really haven't watched them at all.
They're doing enough to win. They're what, like 10-2 or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Crazy, Tom. Those another one of those teams that were just kind of fringe, but they got really nothing to lose. So
Right.
they're just kind of playing the play. And if you get hot early this year, like some teams have, it sets you up perfect.
Yeah.
Basically, every game counts as 3. So if you start off to a 10-2 or a 7-3 record or something like that, you're set up pretty nicely for the rest of the year. As long as you can play even baseball.
Right.
You
You
just play
gotta keep
500.
consistent.
Yeah, if you just play 500, you're probably going to make the playoffs. And that's what worries me for a team like the Indians. Their offense is atrocious, outside of a couple hitters. But that pitching staff is going to keep them in games to where it only takes 1 or 2 big hits from Lindor, from Franmil, who can hit one out at any time. Jose Ramirez. Cesar Hernandez is going to get it started because that dude's a contact machine. He's like a poor man's LeMahieu. Yeah, he reminds me a lot of a poor man's LeMahieu. He's very good.
I mean, for the price that we got him at,
Right.
God, every day. All day, every day.
Absolutely. So to me, the Indians can cause some real problems in the playoffs as long as the pitching staff stays healthy and they at least start to hit. That's what worries me more than anything. Is they just can't flip and hit. Except for, last night when they went off for 10 runs.
Yeah, last night in our first game.
Right. Outside of that, it was dry. It wasn't like 2 runs in 6 games, or like 3 games or something like that. Something stupid. Not that bad, but it was not good. Speaking about the Indians, do you think they're going to change their name?
Down the left field line and deep.
I'm actually fine with them changing the name if they do come to that conclusion, as long as it sticks within, like, Cleveland history. Like, such as the Spiders, because that was our original name. But I don't know if they will, because so Chris Antonetti, which is the VP of the Indians, was getting along with like the rest of our owners, the Dolans and everything, and they were actually going to talk to a group of Native Americans to see what they think about it, get their insight on it, and see if they think that we should change our name. So I think they're going about it the correct way, but I guess we'll see.
I think they will. And for this reason, I don't find the name racist at all. I think people are too soft. The only people who are calling this racist are white people who have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
It's not even, that's not Native Americans who's calling it racist. It's freaking white people calling it racist, because white people apparently have nothing better to do, because their life is so cushiony that a baseball name offends them. And a caricature makes them feel a certain way.
I almost feel like it's racist to get rid of the name, because then you're not wanting to represent Indians.
Right, you're wanting to exclude them. So
right.
I think they're going to, because I think cancel culture is such a big thing today that there's going to be such an outcry. And eventually, Rob Manfred, who's the worst commissioner in baseball, is going to make them do it one way or the other. And I think it's stupid. I wish the Indians would announce their change of their name and bring back Chief Wahoo and just be the Cleveland Wahoos as just
awesome.
Giant, just a royal double middle finger bird right to Manfred and the rest of the cancel culture. I would love it. But unfortunately, I don't think they're going to do that. And I think
the Dolans are
yeah, I think the Dolans
not
are
that
wussies. Right, I think the Dolans suck.
They're not ballsy whatsoever.
Right, I think they're going to cave. I don't think they're going to put up a fight. Even though, if they were smart, they would bring back Chief Wahoo, because the year that they announced Wahoo was going away, they never had hired sales from Chief Wahoo. Because most people hate cancel culture and think it's absurd and think it's annoying. So, I think they're going to change it. I would think they go back to the Spiders, like you said. I don't see why they would, unless they do something, and I hope they don't, but kind of what the Akron Arrows did when they changed their name, and I still don't know why they changed their name from the Arrows. I think I think the rubber ducks are kind of cool, but not as cool as
I love the uniforms.
I like the uniforms
personally.
too. I like the uniforms too.
The
But
new orange
just-
ones they came out with are
The orange
they're
ones are
sick.
sweet, but you could have done that with the arrows and just changed colors.
I mean,
But-
they could have. Yeah.
But so I hope the Indians don't do something like that where they do like a city poll or a statewide poll or a fan poll of what their name should be. I hope they don't do that. It's different for a minor league team because it's a minor league team who really cares at the end of the day. It's not going to
Yeah,
impact
I mean,
anything.
Most
Take it
of the
for, what,
minor league
$5?
teams have like ridiculous names anyway, like the
Yeah.
Rumble Ponies,
Right.
the Jumbo Shrimp. Like, come
I mean,
on.
most of the time, a minor league baseball game is really, well, for the players, it's, of course, to go to the major leagues. But for fans, it's more of to watch the guys. But if you're just a casual baseball fan that, wants to go to a baseball game, doesn't want to stay for all 9 innings, you can take a family of 4 out there for like $20.
Yeah.
And
The food's cheap there too.
Yeah, the food's cheap. There's really not a bad seat in any of the minor league parks. So it's something affordable for a family to do. And it applies to kids. I mean, how many kids, just want to go to Rubber Ducks games? Or want to go be the Rumble Ponies or, something like that. So I hope the Indians don't do something like that. Like I said, I personally hope they just go to Cleveland Wahoos. Say screw everybody.
Right.
Or at the very least keep the Indians. But I don't think they will. I think they're going to go to with the Redskins, and I'm glad you went on that. I think they're going to go with the Redskins and be like the Cleveland baseball team because the Redskins owner says we're never changing our name. And then as soon as they get a little pressure, they say, okay, yeah, we're going to change it.
Yeah. Buckle.
Okay. Right.
There's a few names I'd be okay with, and my number one is obviously Cleveland Spiders. But the other one I think would be kind of neat would be the Cleveland Gladiators, only because I like the actual arena football team logo, and it still has like that arrow look to it,
Right.
I think they could do some sweet uniforms with them, but those are really the only other two that I'd want. I don't really like the Cleveland Buckeyes.
No, I hate it. That's the first time I heard it, and I hated it. I don't like it.
I'm not a fan. Nothing to do with races, but like, I just don't like it.
No, Cleveland Buckeyes is horrible. It's already the Ohio State Buckeyes. Come on.
I don't mind it when they do the one league or the one weekend of season where they wear those uniforms, but that's it. That's all we have to do.
Yeah, just no. And the other thing, if they do change the name, can we please get a? Wow, I'm voice cracking bad. Can we please get a color change for the team, or like a uniform change? Because I am so sick of them looking like knockoff Red Sox jerseys. Like the ones that look old school that say Indians across it look so much like the Red Sox uniform, and I cannot stand it.
I don't like the ones that say the Indian. Well, so I like the red ones with the Indians.
I like the red
across
ones.
it.
I like the red ones. I don't like the white ones.
No, I don't like the white ones.
Because it's not white. It's like some form of like an off-white.
No, we don't have the cream anymore.
Oh, thank God, because those are horrible.
We haven't had the cream for almost 2 years.
Oh, good. Yeah, those are bad. Those are bad. Those needed to go.
Me and Ryan were so happy when we got rid of those.
Yeah, they needed to go away. The best uniform. Oh, that was a dirty pitch. I thought that was
Dude,
low.
the slurve is so gross.
I used it in my road to the show. The one uniform they need to go back to are those navy blue ones with Chief Wahoo on it. Oh, you prick! You really threw it to second? Oh, you freaking suck! I should have stolen.
Your dude was slow.
Well, it's getting full.
No, I mean the dude first to second. He's too slow.
He's got 94 speed. He just didn't move. It was Mickey Mantle. He didn't move. What? So yeah, that's kind of what I hope for the Indians. Oh, you dirty prick! All right, do it again. Do it again. See what happens.
No, I knew you were throwing it high. I was trying to get on it, but I was on the inside, and I'm dropping my PCI.
Dang. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so what are your predictions for the year? Who's going to be those 8 teams in each league? Who's at least going to be the division? Let's go that way. Who's going to win the division?
That's interesting. So, top 2 for sure are The Yankees and the Dodgers.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean,
let's make it a little bit easier. Let's go. Starting in the American League. Who are the?
Okay.
Let's do the first two. So let's go. Okay, so you're an Indians fan. So let's go American League Central. Who are the two teams in the Central that make it? I think we're probably gonna agree.
Indians, Twins, no doubt.
Who wins the division?
Twins.
Okay, I agree. We agree. I was wondering if you're gonna go the homer pick.
No.
Which I would understand. If the Indians get hot, they could. Hey, if the Indians can hit, they very well could win the division. They're that good.
Oh, they could for sure. I think our pitching can definitely shut them down, but it's more of like the Twins are hot right now, and I don't see them stopping.
I don't think so either. I think the Twins are one of them young teams that can just hit, but they have no pitching, so they're always going to get to the playoffs, but then they're going to lose.
Yeah.
Because they just can't
they're not
pitch.
going any further than that.
Yeah, they're going to make it to the ALDS or whatever they're going to call it this year. I think they're going to get to the first round and lose. So I think it would be great if the Indians faced them in the playoffs, because I think the Indians would win. I think the Indians would win that series. Okay.
Judge dropped it. Oh my God.
That's why I hate this game. This is why I hate this game, man.
Corey Kluber got on.
Wow. Anyways, we're gonna ignore that happened. Because that would have ended the inning.
It's got a 95 fielding too.
What normally happens to me at this point is a home run. So I'm really being cautious here.
Not with Lofton. Unless it's inside the park.
Oh, okay, good. Right at him. Okay, no pain. Alright. AL East. Let's go with the East. Who you got?
So Yankees. I honestly think that the Rays are gonna somehow figure something out and come in second.
I do too. I think the Yankees win it. I'm assuming you're picking the Yankees to win it. Okay.
Yeah.
I figured those two divisions I figured were the easiest. The next couple are gonna be kind of tough. What do you think about the AL West? Because this division's tough.
Oh, it is.
It really is. Currently, Oakland is winning at 9-4, and then the Astros are 6-6, and the Angels are 5-8, and Seattle's 5-9, and Texas is awful. So
yeah,
the Rangers aren't going anywhere.
No, I feel so bad for Gallo.
Gallo and Kluber. I feel bad for both those guys. Oh, I'm safe.
Oh, Kluber's hurt, so.
Well, true. He's always hurt.
Yeah.
Alright, so AOS. What you thinking here?
So, sadly, I think the Astros are going to make it out.
Okay.
Not by much.
So you think they're going to win?
Second.
Oh, they're going to come in second. Okay, who do you got winning?
I think it's really going to be close between Oakland and the Angels. I really think the Angels are going to end up pulling it together, but I think the A's are going to take it.
I think so too, but I disagree on one thing. I think the A's are going to win the division by quite a bit. I think the Angels are going to come in second and give Mike Trout play in for the playoffs.
And
I think the Astros make the playoffs as one of the bonus teams, like one of their wild card teams. But I think they're going to finish third. Here's why. They are so flustered right now with everything going on.
Pitching.
They have no pitching, and since they're having cheating, Altuve's batting what? You sent it to me the other day, like less than 200 at home. Like he finally got found out, and teams are they put a target on their back. It's even worse that they didn't win. Well, I shouldn't say that. It would be worse if they would have won and found out they were cheating with it. But players take that personally, and baseball players hold grudges during the season. So every game that the Astros play, the Astros are going to get that team's best shot. So it's almost like playing the Yankees. Like whenever you go to Yankee Stadium and play the Yankees, you're going to get the team's best shot because it's the Yankees. Nobody likes the Yankees unless you're a Yankee fan. You want to beat the best, or the perceived best, every year. I think the Astros are going to get that this year, and they're not used to it. So I think they're going to get every team's best shot, and they're not going to hold it. I think they're going to finish third, and I think they're barely going to skate in the playoffs. And I think they're going to be a one and done. I don't think they're going to make it that far.
Probably not, no.
So if I had to pick, I'm going to pick the A's to win it, and then the Astros to come in third, and the Angels to come in second. And I think the Angels are going to make a decent run. I think they're going to win at least a round or two in the playoffs. And I don't know
I
how the
hope so.
I hope so. I think Trout deserves it. I think they're going to have a shot. So I don't know exactly how it's going to play out. If it's 1 through 8 or what it would be. And I don't even want to begin to even look at that. We can talk about that as it gets closer to playoff time. But if I had to pick today with a gun to my head, who's in the ALCS fighting for a World Series spot? I think, and it's going to be a homer pick, but I also think they're the best team in the American League, and it's really not that close. I think the Yankees will be in there, and then I think, honestly, I think, see, I don't know. I don't know, because I don't, like I said, I don't think the Twins are going to go that far. I think the Indians have a chance if they get hot, and if they go into buy mode instead of sell mode. I'm going to pick the Angels as like a surprise team to make the to go to the distance. If I'm going to pick the Yankees, Angels, or Yankees, Indians as a play-in for the playoffs, as this funky season. So what you got?
Definitely interesting. I also see the Yankees up there.
And it's fouled away.
I really want to pick the Indians.
I know. I do too. Because I think they're capable of being that good. Oh, that's one off the wall. Scoreboard. That offense just worries me so much.
But I actually think I'm going to take the Athletics.
The Athletics? The only thing that worries me about the Athletics, because I like the Athletics, is every year they play the money ball, and they never perform in the playoffs. So what gives you the confidence to put them in this ALCS?
Maybe it's their time. Finally.
Could be. It could be.
I mean, they're finally stringing together some young guys.
True.
They're showing a lot of power. Matt Chapman kind of came out of nowhere. He's a freak of nature.
Matt Chapman's a stud. I love Matt Chapman. Alright, so the A's and the Yankees. And then I think you basically said the Yankees are going to the World Series.
Yeah.
Okay, so going to the National League.
I don't see the A's beating them.
I don't think so. Especially with Garrett Cole, that was the one thing the Yankees were missing was every fifth day, or if they needed a big win in the postseason, they didn't have anybody they can go to. Well, now they do. You have him, and Tanaka's one of the best playoff pitchers in baseball anyway. And now to be able to go to Garrett Cole, that's tough.
Right.
Paxton, I don't trust Paxton enough to carry in the playoffs. And I do trust Cole, and I do trust Tanaka. So with those two, I don't think it's tough. I don't think it's that hard. All right, going to the National League, we start with the NL Central. Cubs are sitting at 10-3. The Brewers are at 5-5. Cardinals are at 2-3. Cincinnati's at 5-8, and Pittsburgh's at 3-10. So who do you got out of the NL Central?
So Cubs for sure.
You think the Cubs are going to win it for sure?
And I think a kind of surprise pick would be the Reds.
That's where I went. Yep, we have the exact same. I like the Reds a lot. I think the Reds are very good, very underrated. I guess I shouldn't say very good, they're 5-8. But they're one of them young teams that if they get hot, they're going to play. They have a lot of talent and a lot of young talent. They're going to be scary in the next couple of years. They're going to be really good.
They need to work on their bullpen.
That bullpen's bad. But I don't think they're going to go far. But with 8 teams being able to get in, I think they're going to be one of them.
Yeah, I could definitely see them doing something. Especially with Nick Castellanos, man.
Oh, that man's great. He's great in fantasy, too, because he plays like 6 positions.
Right.
It's awesome. He plays like first, outfield, left, and I think third, if I remember right. I haven't had him in a couple years. But he's pretty great in fantasy. NL East, which is kind of skewed because the Marlins kind of ruined everything, and so did the Phillies. So, Marlins are technically in first because of win percentage at 6-1. The Braves are at 9-5, Nationals 4-5, Phillies 3-4, the Mets at 5-8. Who do you got for the NL East?
So I mean, this is probably gonna sound like the most bland pick, but probably the Braves and the Nationals.
I think that's a pretty no-brainer. The Mets have all the potential and continue to suck year in and year out.
Yep.
It's the most Mets thing to do. they have some of the best roster and they spend a ton of money and they still can't win. So,
2 of the greatest pitchers in the game.
Can't win. Can't win.
Nothing to show for.
Can you imagine if they were both in New York, right? Or just give me one of them. Give me one. Give me either Syndergaard or DeGrom. I don't even care. To pair alongside Garrett Cole. Oh, you're talking about like this. It's almost like a guaranteed World Series berth. Come on. It's nasty. So
It's
Mets
insane.
sucking horrible. All right, NL West, which I think is going to be the toughest one to pick, to be honest. So you have the Rockies winning at 9-3, Dodgers 9-4, the Padres 7-6, the Giants are 6-8, and the Diamondbacks are 5-8.
I don't think this one's hard at all. Dodgers are taking it. I mean, Dodgers are making it to the World Series.
I agree.
And then I think the Padres are going to sneak out of there with them.
I thought so too, but I think a lot of people look at the Rockies as the number 2 team and sleep on the Padres.
The Padres are definitely sleepers.
They are sleepers, and that offense can be really good. And I think they're going to make one more splash at the trade deadline. They're one of them fringe teams that are right there.
Yeah.
Can make one of them big moves, and all of a sudden they're right in the hunt. So I picked the Padres in there, and you basically said it. I basically said it. Dodgers going to win the National League. Who are they going to play for the right to go play the Yankees?
I think it could be a very fun and interesting series between the Dodgers and Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, honestly, it's so close between the Nationals and the Braves. But I'm going with Nationals only because of pitching.
Nationals are pitching.
Because the Braves don't pitch well.
The Braves don't pitch
at all.
And for that reason, I am going to agree with you that it's going to be Dodgers Nationals. Pitching always wins in playoff games. Always. And because the Braves just don't have it. Now, if the Braves go out and make a move for a guy, that changes the equation. But I don't know what their... Oh, that was gross. I don't know what their farm system looks like. And I just don't see them able to go get somebody. So I think the Braves will end up losing either the Nationals or Dodgers. And then those two teams will end up playing each other. And we both picked Dodgers to win. So Dodgers, Yankees, they haven't faced each other since the 70s or 80s in the World Series.
Yeah,
it's gonna be it's gonna be the most watched World Series probably of our lifetime, ratings wise. Who do you have winning and why?
Not an easy pitch to lay off of, but he did somehow, and he's got it to 3.
You know, I mean, it's kind of been a while for both teams since they won a World Series, but obviously the Yankees won the most recent one.
09.
I mean, the Dodgers haven't won since like '85.
Yep. I think actually,
awful.
I think the last time they won, they beat the Yankees, believe it or not.
And I think history repeats itself.
So you're picking the Dodgers?
I think they end their drought finally.
Oh, he's picking the Dodgers over the Yankees. Why are you picking the Dodgers over the Yankees?
They've shown, well, in the few games we've seen this season, they've shown some like serious like comeback potential. They got a nice young team, especially with some of their prospects coming up, like Dustin May. He's been an absolute animal since starting.
And that two-seamer is filled.
Dude, for it to break in on a righty, like
no ball
like
should move that
wait
much.
a second.
No ball should move
99.
that much. Yeah, at 99, nothing should move that fast. No.
Yeah, that was pretty scary.
Facts. So we've got the Dodgers. I'm gonna go with the homer pick. I'm gonna pick the Yankees to finally win after 2009. I actually remember where I was when the last time they won. My great-grandfather had just passed away not too long before then. I was actually watching them play the Angels in the playoffs before they got to the World Series. And then I remember celebrating at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and I had to be quiet because my mom and my sister were sleeping, so I didn't even get to celebrate properly. This year, I'm gonna take like the next 3 days off of work to celebrate and party. I don't even drink or anything, but just so I can celebrate, and this will be the one time I gloat. But if they win, of course, and now knowing that I say that, they're probably gonna get smacked around by the Dodgers.
They're not even making the playoffs now.
Right. I just think the Yankees bullpen is too good. I still think the Yankees have one of the top 3 or 4 bullpens in the league. Even losing Tommy Kahnle, I think they still have one. And when you can go from And I've been a big Chad Green hater for a while. I complained about that dude constantly last year. This year, he's not an opener, and he's a late inning guy. And actually, when he was a late inning guy last year, he was very good.
So he's been pretty solid this season.
And he's found a different level that he's just been nuts. So if you can go from a guy like that to Adam Ottavino to Zach Britton to Chapman, I mean, you basically only have to pitch 5 innings at that point.
Right.
For a starter. That takes a lot of pressure off not only your starting pitcher, but your lineup. And I think the Yankees have arguably the best lineup in baseball outside of catcher because we have the worst catcher in baseball history. That ball's gone. So
that was out of the zone too.
Yep, it sure was.
That's sure Bellinger for you.
That's Bellinger. So, and Bellinger's struggling. So, but I don't think Bellinger will struggle all the way to the postseason. But.
No.
So with the Yankees having, I think they have a better lineup than the Dodgers. I don't think they have a better rotation because I think the Yankees after Cole and Tanaka are kind of at best, to be completely honest. There's really nobody that great. But because that bullpen is so good, they don't have to be great. They just kind of have to keep the lineup in it. So because of that, I think the Yankees are going to win in 6.
Just remember, the Dodgers have Joe Kelly. He's not afraid of the Yankees.
No, but the Yankees roughed up Joe Kelly when he was in Boston. And the other reason I'm picking against the Dodgers, Kershaw might be the biggest choker in baseball history.
First, he has to play a game this season.
True, he does have to play. And if the Dodgers don't have Kershaw, that means I don't have to see Dustin May once in a while. Well, maybe. And normally I'd say the Yankees own David Price, but David Price opted out of the season.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about him, even though that would be a win. So that kind of actually helps the Dodgers a little bit. But I still think the Dodgers choke too much, and their history of choking is just going to continue. And I'm going to pick the Yankees in 6, and the Yankees are going to raise number 28 and win for the first time in 11 years.
We'll see how that goes. Could be an interesting season for sure. Anything can happen.
So. Anything can happen in the sprint. If the Yankees lose Aaron Judge, forget about the season, because the Yankees will make the playoffs, because the East outside of Tampa Bay is not super great. But yeah, the Yankees, if they lose Judge, just forget about it. Doesn't matter. And again, he kicked my butt. You know what though? That's the closest I made it.
Yeah.
I only lost by 2. I only lost by 2. I don't know if it's because I had you distracted the whole game or what. Because normally you're supposed to be runs in the first 3 pitches.
I would say I really wasn't paying too much attention because of the conversation.
Yep, there it is. That's all I need to do.
I looked down and I was like, oh crap. I was like, this game's close.
This is actually close. Well, thanks for joining me, man. Good idea. I'm glad we played this. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it and want to see more, hit that like button down below and comment what do you think is going to happen for the season. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day, and may the force be with you always.